What's up, guys? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. Yesterday, we saw Mike Trout combine for nearly 1,000 feet worth of home runs. We also saw the first no-no of the 2024 season. Only took a handful of games, and it's not from who you expected. Speaking of first, Shota Imanaga. He made his first start with the Cubs, and he almost looked unhittable as well. And we got to talk about the Oakland Athletics because they just set a record for the most errors through 5 games, and me personally, I think that's karma from the baseball gods, considering they made one of the most confusing roster moves I've seen in quite some time, and it made the entire baseball community pretty upset. Now, before we get into the highlights, I have to tip my cap to you guys. A massive shout out to all of you because we gained over 1,000 brand new subscribers yesterday. We're getting so close to 500,000. Thank you. Also, just a reminder, MLB Recap is presented by SeatGeek. Use code Fuzzy to save 20 bucks off your tickets. And if you're into fantasy sports, be sure to download Underdog Fantasy and use my code Fuzzy for up to a $100 deposit match. They got baseball, basketball deals every single day, so check it out, Underdog Fantasy. So before we talk about the stupid move the A's made, at least it's stupid in my opinion, and as well as the entire baseball community thought it was stupid, let's talk about the Astros and the Jays because Ronel Blanco, who is usually a relief pitcher, he struck out 2 in the first and don't go anywhere. He was just getting started. Kyle Tucker and Yainer Diaz, they both launched home runs. Tucker's was a 2-run Oppo Taco, and Diaz 435 feet. My goodness. And look who finally hit a home run. Jeremy Pena had the second longest home run drought in all of baseball, worse than Steven Kwan, worse than Miles Straw. He had not hit a home run since July of last year. So the Astros are up by a bajillion, and Ronel Blanco has all the confidence in the world. He struck out the side in the 4th inning. Jeremy, he extended Houston's lead even more with a 2-run single, and we had some deja vu happen with Kyle Tucker and Yainer Diaz. Tucker with the 2-run home run, Diaz with the solo shot. Jays fans, they should be pissed at the Yankees because the Yankees just embarrassed the Astros, so the Astros, they had to take out their frustrations on someone. Ronel had a no-hitter through 8 1/3. Biggio was trying to spoil it, but Jose Abreu, he stopped it and he made the play. Blanco, he finished off the 7-strikeout no-hitter in just his 8th career start. He and his wife, last week, they welcomed their child. He makes the team because there was a lot of injuries, and then he throws a no-hitter. The Royals and the Orioles game was a lot of fun, but we're going to show that after we go off, Esteury Ruiz was sent down. He was optioned, even though he hit 302 to end 2023. He's hitting 430 with a double, a triple, and a stolen base to begin 2024. He was sent down for Tyler Nevin. We're talking about Tyler Nevin, who has a career 202 batting average and a 74 OPS plus. They deserve to get bodied because, again, a stupid move. And that's exactly what happened. There was an error that led to Jarren Duran getting to third base. Tristan Casas, he bounced one up the middle to drive in Jarren, and the A's helped out Boston again moments later. Rafaela, he lofted a sac fly, and then that ball was thrown away to allow another free run. But stay with me now because it happened again, this time on a flip at first base. Their 4th error of the day already that hand delivers Boston their 4th run. Rafaela, he grabbed another RBI on a sac fly, and the damn walls were broken now. Not like, I'm not cursing, I'm saying the dam, like Hoover Dam, the walls, you know what I'm saying? The water came through because they broke it. Duran did a good job of staying inside the baseball. He jolted that one the other way. And there's another error. 5 errors gives them 13 through 5 games. That's an MLB record for the first 5 games for any team ever. Trevor Story, he's looking to bounce back and turn it up, and that'll really help out the confidence right there. A 2-run 2-bagger to left field. Tanner Houck, he made light work. I mean, light work of the A's lineup. This dude is one of the nastiest starting pitchers I've ever seen. His slider and sinker combination just looks downright unfair and terrifying. The command has always been an issue though, but he had no walks and he struck out 10. The A's, they get demolished 9-0, and it seems like there's no hope in sight. So we're going to talk about Mike Trout later on in this recap, but I think it's safe to say that Bobby Witt Jr. is the Mike Trout of infielders, right? He's got insane power, crazy speed. Salvi, he has negative speed, but that pop is unreal. I don't know if he's a Hall of Famer in my book, but since turning 30, he's got 107 home runs and a near 120 OPS plus, and he used to be a good defensive catcher. The Royals, they went up by 3 when the inevitable happened. RBI machine Anthony Santander, he ripped an RBI single, and there goes the lead. With a name like Ryan Mountcastle, you better have some thump, and Ryan, he's hitting 430 with 7 RBIs in his first 4 games. The Royals, they loaded the bases up in the 5th inning, and Yanir Cano, he has to find a way to get out of it. He jammed Renfroe, and then he punched out Nick Lofton. He was fired up, and he just kind of stood there and stared. He kind of pulled and rolled as Chapman. The Orioles quickly responded, and Bobby, he tried his best to save that run from scoring, but Lofton, he couldn't pick kick it at first base. Kimbrel, he's going to try and save it, but remember, this is 2024 Kimbrel, so of course he's going to blow it. Maikel Garcia, he lifted a sac fly. There goes the lead. You ask 25-year-old Jordan Westberg, he was probably okay with the fact that Kimbrel blew the lead because he got another at bat, and that's a ball game. And Oppo Taco to walk it off. The Orioles farm system is a well that is never ending. Like, they can just drop a bucket whenever they want, and it's going to be filled. Before we talk about the Yankees and their quest to start 5-0, we got to ask this question. What in God's name happened to the White Sox as a franchise? They lost their first base coach, literally. Stay tuned for that. Ronald's speed was too much, and he beats out a double play to drive in the game's first run. Orlando Arcia, he smoked his third double already of the year, making it a 3 spot for the Braves early on. We're going to skip to the 6th when Ronald and Ozzie hit back-to-back doubles. So now it's 6-0 because Austin Riley, he piled on with an RBI single. And this was all happening while Charlie Morton was shoving on the bump. And I'm not going to lie, I think Luis Robert Jr., he just looks defeated, man. That was his 3rd strikeout of the day because his team is so bad. He feels like he has to do everything himself. The rain was really coming down. Ronald walked, Ozzie singled, and then they decided to bring out the tarp. 45 minutes later, the game resumed, and Austin Riley, he hammered an outside cutter the other way. I 100% would have rolled over and gotten out if that was in MLB The Show. Now, in the final half inning, relief pitcher Tyler Matzik, he was waiting to pitch, but the White Sox did not have a first base coach. He vanished. Everyone was in the dugout looking puzzled, like, where is this dude? Anyone, just go out there. That embodies the entire franchise. And then ultimately, the game was called early. The Braves, they win 9-0. Anthony Volpe looks like a brand new hitter this year. He's got more muscle. The approach seems to be fixed as well. He had 4 base hits, 4 for 4 in this one. He scores on a bloop single right in front of Jake McCarthy in right field. Glaber, he wanted in on the hit action. That double scooted past Lourdes Gurriel Jr. And Cabrera, he was able to score easy. The Yankees offense wanted more. Volpe's second hit was an RBI single, and the Yankees, they've been benefiting a ton lately from bad defense. Houston, they threw the ball all over the place, and same with Arizona. Wells had an RBI sac fly, but that turned into Volpe scoring. Volpe has been smiling ear to ear lately. He's been having a lot of fun. I mean, I'd be smiling too if I was the Yankees shortstop who just won a Gold Glove, and now I'm breaking out with the bat. Arizona, they challenged a few times, but the Yankees, they were able to escape without much damage. They're the 5th Yankee team since 1903 to start 5-0. By the way, shout out to Luis Gil. His fastball was electric, and the Diamondbacks offense is no joke. So when you can go 4 1/3, I know he didn't go through 5, but to allow 1 base hit with 6 strikeouts to the Diamondbacks, that's very impressive. You got to tip your cap. We only have a handful of undefeated teams left, and of course, one of them is the Pirates. Honestly, it seems like they do this every single year. They start hot and then they fall off a cliff. Former National Michael A. Taylor, he got a standing ovation, and I forgot he was there from 14 to 20, so quite some time. His sac fly brought in the game's first run. Another back and forth game for the Pirates. Reynolds, he grounded out for an RBI, and then Lane Thomas ripped a double the other way. That was a close play at home, but way too late. Lane Thomas, he ripped it, and Connor Joe ticked it. He dribbled it for Pittsburgh's 3rd run. Baseball is so random and weird because the Pirates scored 3 on dinks and dunks, whereas the Nationals, they were hitting missiles. Riley Adams went perfect for a long 2-run game-time blast. By the way, Riley Adams sounds like a former president, like he could have been the 12th president of the United States. But here we go. The Pirates finally started barreling baseballs up. Connor Joe, he smoked an RBI double for the lead, and Brian Hayes, he turned on the Jets to give himself a hustle RBI double. McCutchen says, "Good job, kid. I'm going to go ahead and knock you in now." The Pirates nearly miss out on double-digit runs. They ran it up to 9. Brian Reynolds, he has 3 doubles, 8 RBIs already, and the Pirates, they sit atop the NL standings at a perfect 5-0. From a team that is 5-0 to a box score that ended 5-0, Colorado, they had to face Shota Imanaga in his first ever start, and this debut was one for the ages. Shota, he quite literally looked unhittable through the first 5 innings. He K'd the first hitter that he faced. He racked up 8 strikeouts over 5 innings. He did not allow a single base hit over those 5. Maybe the weather helped out, but whatever. His whiff rate was insane. Chuck Nasty, Charlie Blackmon, he ruined the no-no, but that didn't faze Shota at all. He blew past Nolan Jones for his 9th strikeout of the day, and Wrigley was jumping, and they're going to stay jumping because the place erupted after Morel singled, and Happ, he wasn't going to score until that happened. Jones, he just flat out missed it. 2 errors on 1 play that led to a Little League home run for Christopher Morel. Cody Bellinger, he knocked in 2 after he turned on a pitch. Just his 3rd base hit, but he's got 4 RBIs. The Cubs win easy, and you want to hear the saddest thing ever. Chris Bryant, a former MVP, a former World Series champion and Rookie of the Year, is 0 for 14. He just doesn't look like Chris Bryant anymore. Chris Bryant is 0 for 14, and that could be the Mets record if they don't shift gears here pretty soon. By the way, that's Shota Imanaga. He shaved his beard and cut off all of his hair so he looks like a brand new guy, and he was very, very good early. He had 3 strikeouts through 2, and he kept it going in the next inning. 2 more strikeouts. He took a no-hitter, just like Shota, into the 6th inning. But in that 6th inning, Sean got himself into a little bit of trouble. He walked Carson Kelly and Andy Ibanez. He's going to drive in Carson. Wait. No, he's not. Brandon Nimmo with the seed to keep it scoreless. So if it's scoreless, who is pitching for the Tigers? Oh, just the nasty Reese Olson. His stuff was sick. He went 5 2/3 shutout. The Tigers staff has looked sick from top to bottom so far. We're going to head to the 10th inning. Still nothing. Oh no, Joey Wendell, he booted it. That run was probably going to score anyways, but just a punch to the gut. Javier Baez lifted a sac fly, and that's not a sac fly. Carson Kelly, he knew it was gone too. A 3-run moonshot. He was really good for Arizona when he first got traded for Paul Goldschmidt, and then he fell off. So I'm hoping that this is the bounce back. And speaking of bounce backs, the Mets, they better do that soon. The Tigers are 4-0. The Mets dropped to 0-4, which is the exact same record of the Marlins coming into this game. Now, the Marlins were not playing around early with Jake Berger and Jazz Chisholm Jr. quickly driving in 2. And look at Bell. He laid out. That is a 6 slide to avoid the tag. Chase Silseth could not put a blanket on the fire as Nick Gordon ripped it open for a 4 spot in the 1st. But the GOAT went yard. Trout, he got a cookie. Well, maybe it's a cookie to him. Might be a good pitch to anyone else. To me, you just can't throw him a changeup right there. Nolan Shanuel, he also got an inside off-speed pitch, and he teed off. His family was in attendance because they're all from Florida. He has a 33-game on-base streak to begin his career. I think that's the 3rd longest of all time. Mike Trout apparently thought that he was at Topgolf. He went golfing. He took out the driver, and he left the entire stadium 475 feet. He has 3 home runs already. All 3 of them, by the way, were solo shots, so by the end of the season, he could have, 45 home runs and 47 RBIs. Trout tied it at 4, and the Halos got a big break as Luis Ariz, he rushed it. He could not get Rendon at home. The infield was still in, and Joe Adell, he was able to capitalize. He blooped in an RBI single. The Angels, they send the Marlins to 0-5, which hasn't happened since ever. That's the first time ever that the Marlins have started 0-5. Nolan Arenado, he finally took a healthy cut, which I'm going to say that because it looked worrisome to begin the season. He was taking half swings. I thought that he was injured. Nothing to worry about on that swing, though, from Wilson Contreras. He's been Mike Piazza since the second half of last year. He's got 26 doubles and 21 home runs over his last 120 games. Goldie, he ripped an RBI on a knuckleball. And thank God, by the way, imagine if Matt Waldron diced up the Cardinals and he went on a run to be pitcher of the month or something, and we had to face a diamond Matt Waldron in MLB The Show 24. Switching gears to the Padres, rookie Jackson Merrill, he went yard. That is his first as a big leaguer, and the dugout was going crazy. He just seems like a nice guy. Like, his teammates love him. Brendan Donovan mashed a 2-run home run to make sure this game was out of reach. He was a triple away from the cycle by the 6th inning. Tatis, he wanted to have some fun as well. This dude is proving that he does not need juice to hit baseballs very far. 445 feet, that's his 3rd of the season. The Padres, they fall after maybe the shortest ball ever was put in play. Ha-Seong Kim, he ticked it, and he was just kind of standing there in disbelief like, this is my life. I cannot believe that I hit it maybe a centimeter. I can't remember the last time that someone had 100 extra base hits in a single season, but Mookie Betts, he might be the next guy if he keeps this up. Ohtani, he did his job. He put the ball in play. Betts, he got on later, and Ohtani doubled to set up ducks on a pond for Freddie Freeman. 2 strikes. No problem. He's Freddie Freeman. He went back up the middle for an RBI single. But look at Conforto. He stayed hot, and I want to give him a shout out because he has 3 home runs in 5 games. But you know what's bigger than 3? 4, which is how many Teoscar Hernandez has now 4 home runs in his last 4 games. He's up to 9 RBIs already. He didn't really see the ball well in Seattle, but he's loving LA. Freddie, he sees it well no matter where he's at. The doubles king did his thing. He drove an on-base machine Mookie Betts and Will Smith. He went up the middle. So the Dodgers are firing on all cylinders. The Rangers are going to try and one-up the Dodgers and show that they still have the best offense in all of baseball. The former Dodger Ryan Pepio, he was getting his first start as a Ray, and I kind of wish he didn't. Maybe push it off for a day or something like that, but Josh Young, he went way gone. That's a 3-run home run, and there's his 4th RBI. He was a one-man wrecking crew in this one. He scores Corey Seager. A bad throw to second gives Texas another run, and Jared Walsh, he looks like a new man. He's hitting 357 so far as a Ranger. That's very impressive. Dane Dunning, he tried to turn 6 shutout into 7 shutout, but his stuff just kind of ran out of steam. His movement was not as good. Richie Palacios, he hit his first home run as a Ray. Jose Siri hit one just 2 batters later, and Adolis, He's about to take over. That's his 100th career home run, and it was not a cheapie. Randy, he didn't even move. So Adolis has 3 home runs and 5 RBIs. Make it 6 RBIs, which that's a tough way to get an RBI. And Maton, he then hit Josh Young, which sucks so much because Josh Young, he fractured his wrist on that hit by pitch. Baseball is a brutal sport. Every time that Young gets hot, he gets hurt. He was hitting .412 with 6 RBIs and a stolen base in 4 games. Now, the top prospect, Justin Foscue, he's going to try and come up and make up for that loss. Last year, he had 31 doubles and a .394 on base percentage in AAA. So just like the Orioles, the Rangers, they have prospects for days. It seems like I've been saying this in every recap to begin this year. Spencer Steer is an RBI machine. So India, he motors to third. He starts the game with a triple, and Steer, he's going to bring him home on a sac. No, he's not. Brandon Marsh threw a baseball almost 100 miles an hour to nab India at home. Alec Boehm, he might be the best hitter in MLB with runners in scoring position, at least in the regular season. It's 2-0 Phillies when the Reds were finally able to get some runs across. CES, Christian Encarnacion Strand, and Jamir Candelario, they both drove in some runs on a single, and the bases ended up loaded for the RBI machine. See ya! Spencer Steer, he collects Grand Slam #1 in his career. He hit .340 with 4 home runs and 12 RBIs in spring, and take it with a grain of salt, it's spring, but he's been locked in for what seems like the last month or two. The two-timer stepped up with 2 on, down 3, 1 swing can tie it, and TJ Antone gets him. Harper, just like his other Las Vegas buddy, Chris Bryant, he's hitless. Harper's 0 for 11, but I think they're both going to turn it around pretty quick. J-Rod was trying his best to make sure that Will Brennan left this game with a broken controller because he robbed Brennan twice. Stay tuned for the second one, but my goodness, J-Rod can really go get it. Sticks, Tristan McKenzie, he was going for Cleveland, but the Mariners, they brought their sticks early on. Ty France, he takes an outside pitch the other way, and yeah, that's not an RBI single. That is 3 runs on 1 swing. That was super impressive, by the way. It's not easy to take that pitch that far the other way. That is Dominic Canzone's first hit of the season, so it's definitely worth the wait. The Guardians were then blessed. Ramon Laureano 100% swung on a hit by pitch, and they gave him first base, and they said that because he got hit before he swung, it was a dead ball. Juan brought home Ramon as he was able to beat out a double play, and Andres Jimenez, he just missed a huge double. Mitch made a nice play to grab it. Now, staying with nice plays, J-Rod, he robbed Brennan again. I would be so mad if I was him. Seattle, they worked a bases loaded walk in the 4th, but we're going to skip to the 6th because J-Rod, he got another chance, and it was off the glove. I straight up thought that he was going to rob us again. Instead, Tyler Freeman, his first of 2024. I'm going to show this even though it didn't really matter. Josh Naylor, he hit a baseball very far. He's hitting .310 with 33 doubles, 18 home runs, and 99 RBIs over his last 125 games. That is insane production. The newcomer, Ryan Stanek, he got the save, and the Mariners, close game, but they beat the Guardians 5-4. So that does it for today's recap. If you guys enjoyed, do me a favor, leave a like. It really helps out the channel. Hit that subscribe button if you're brand new, and of course, enjoy the web gems.
Melendez pops this up in foul territory towards the Kansas City dugout. Rutschman into a slide.
And a little pop-up behind second base. Back goes Lindor over the shoulder. He makes the grab.
Toward right center. Walker on the run. Dives! And
hit sharply. Diving play by Anderson. 2 first.
High in the air, right center. Victor Robles, Lane Thomas. Lane's going to make the grab. It was not running. And a slow roller is hit to third. Garcia throws him out.
Hard hit, caught at third by Paulie.